There we go. Okay, so we're recording, so you go right ahead, Kelly.
Okay, I'm going to screen share PowerPoint I made, and I'll kind of talk through that a little bit. Let's see if this works. I'm not really good at this stuff.
Yeah, I'll help you if you need help.
Okay.
There you go. I see it.
Yeah, I was trying to get it to run now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my friend Joyce and I started a cooking blog about 4 years ago, and so we've had a lot of success with it, so I thought I'd share some of what we do with you. And I mentioned to Terry recently that anytime I see things, I store the content in my blog. So recently, Sarah, I know you put something on the couples page about 50 non-food dates. It's like I copied that link and I put it into my own personal blog, and I thought, well, when I have time to read about this and think about this more, I'm going to write my own post about this. But that lets me already have an idea for something I want to write about. So even tonight, I was on Twitter, and Eat This Not That had a lot of different articles, and I just started sending the links to my email so that when I read them, I could get ideas and get posts from there. The thing about blogging is that you can use your blog and the content that you have in all the different forms of social media. So you can eliminate a lot of your work. So you're not thinking of what I want to put on Pinterest and what I want to put on YouTube and what I want to put on Instagram. You're going to use all the same stuff. You're going to take pictures for your blog. You're going to have possibly a video to go along with your blog. And so all of those things will be able to be posted in a different way. And in blogging, a lot of people are into the community. So a lot of the successful bloggers that we've seen, they will share our stuff. So we'll write to them, hey, we wanted to share this recipe of yours, and they'll write back to us, oh, we'll feature you. We'll put a link. Let us know when your post goes live, and we'll share it on our Facebook page. So that sense of community that bloggers have is very helpful. And I know I've shared with Terry the AnotherMotherRunner.com and their books, but Joyce and I kind of looked at these blogs as being some of the ones that we really like or relate to a lot. And I'll show you a couple screenshots of Another Mother Runner and how they engage people. They do a weekly giveaway of running supplies, and we'll talk a little bit more about giveaways also. The Crock-Pot Girls, if you're familiar with them, a few years ago, I think they're the reason that Facebook put ads on, because they started with like 20 likes and within 3 days had over 1 million likes. And so Joyce and I thought, well, if these girls can do this, we can do it too. But it was a real organic thing. People saw it and they wanted to like it because it was an interesting thing to them, and they wanted to use Crock-Pots. Some of you are familiar with Momastery and Glennon Doyle. She's real, and I know, Sarah, you talked before about niche and finding your niche, and I think that all of these people are very real, and so they don't paint some perfect picture in their blogs. And then I also, because I'm a teacher, I follow some different teachers too, and so I look at their content too to see how they're sharing and getting their words across. But all of those are really great places to look to see even how good blogs look. This is a screenshot from Another Mother Runner, and every single Wednesday they do a giveaway, and they get about 600 to 1,000 comments, people who enter their giveaways. And they give away things like running strollers, but then they also give away really small things like tablets of Noon, which are just a drink supplement you put in your water. But the thing that they do that's neat that I kind of want to draw your attention to is when you write a comment for them, they give you a place to put your website. And then when I post that comment there, if somebody reads my comment and likes it, they can click on my name and they can go to my website. And so that's something really unique to them. And I like that, because then if I see somebody who's saying similar things to me, I go and follow their website and see what else they have. So another mother runner doesn't care about sending your traffic elsewhere. They want you to be engaged, and they want other moms who run to feel like they have a voice in a way for other people to connect. The other thing I want to kind of mention is like how their page looks. Like, it's not filled with all kind of junk everywhere. And sometimes I think people put just way too many ads and things on the side. So that was one of the things that Joyce and I have really tried to be careful of. I talked both with Terry and Kathleen a little bit about how I post. So Sarah, when you start your own web page, whenever you post a blog post, we usually post on a Monday. And then what happens is that next day, our post gets pushed out through all our email followers. And we probably have about 500 people who follow us just by email. So I let that go for one day. And then the next day, I will copy some of the content or picture of my recipe, and I'll post it to Facebook on Tuesday. So it's really not any more work for me. I'm just taking my picture and a little bit of my content. Sometimes I link directly to my blog. Sometimes I copy and paste. I kind of go back and forth about which one gets more views. Wednesday, I'll pin my recipe on Pinterest. I usually pin it in a couple different places so that it gets seen at different times. On Thursday, I'll try to throw a picture on Instagram with some hashtags. BMRB is our hashtag for Busy Moms Recipe Box, so I always throw that on there. I can tweet from my pins, but I can also go on Pinterest and tweet something different about recipes or giveaways. And then I haven't done a lot with YouTube, but we have been trying to. We started a channel and have been trying to do a little bit. So if I were doing, we did a recipe, like trying to get people to eat at home, dine-in menu. So I kind of sat and did some meal planning with my kids to go along with our dine-in day messages. So I'm taking the exact same post that I did on Monday, and I'm just changing the way I'm driving that post. And the thing that people don't realize, because we're using all these forms of social media, and we're using it to try to connect with people, but you might see there's certain people that you follow on Facebook and different people who you follow on Instagram or Twitter because you like them. And there's a girl I only follow on YouTube, and the teacher that I like, I only get emails from. So, you know, different people stand out in different forms of social media. And so I think that in every single place, if you have 500 followers, they're the different 500 followers. And so you're going to get your content out and always be driving them back to your website instead of someplace else. I've always been afraid Facebook was kind of going to shut down, or I've kind of gotten frustrated with Facebook. So I like to think of my website and my blog as my home. And so I work from there and push out. And Terry was interested in this, and we did a lot with giveaways. We were contacted by some local grocery stores and just did some things for Craisins and Ocean Spray. So I try to think, well, what do we have around us that might be interested in our, you know, clean means, our chemical-free means, our fitness. So we have Dick's Sporting Goods, you know, just right here. Some independent stores might be more willing to work with you, like a Mojo Running or an Up and Running, or, you know, different independent places. And I have lots of friends involved as independent salespeople of some of these Norwex chemical-free cleaning, 31 bags, you know, and just kind of talking to them about, hey, I'll send you some business. Maybe we can give me a sheet of wraps, you know, $15 worth of wraps. I'll make sure that I put a link to your website, and I'll host a giveaway. We can get people to like your page. We'll run it for a week, and then we'll see how we do. People like things for free, and so, and I think just today I was reading some of you were talking about posting in the garage sale items, and so that's some place that we would put our giveaways. We've done some giveaways for books as well. So, you know, if there's a certain author or cookbook you like, you know, try contacting that publishing company. Your giveaway is free publicity for them. And so if you're willing to work with them, we've had great success. They ship the book to the person, they ship us a copy so we can share some of their recipes, and we just stick to the timeline they ask us to. We're all educated people, so the blog post that you write for them is going to be high quality, and they'll be really happy to work with that. A couple other things that were helpful to us when we were running out of ideas. What can we do? We would turn our posts into a menu plan for the week. And so we would plan dinners for the week and maybe post that on Thursday when people were getting ready to start meal planning and grocery shopping. And so all we were doing was copying and pasting our previous posts and putting them there and saying, you know, go to this Monday, eat this, Tuesday, eat this. And our menus are a little bit different than yours. We don't use like the boxes and things. We would just kind of write a little blurb about what's happening on Monday. Oh, we have dance class, so it needs to be fast food. And so people can relate to their own lives and say, oh, okay, well, we have things on Wednesday, so maybe that would work well for us. And then we talked about posting, if I was going to this chicken tortellini, we had different recipes. And this is just an example if you wanted to click on it and follow. You read about the new recipe and it says, oh, well, we really like this recipe. And so we put an extra link in there. And sometimes people follow them to go back. So that's a way to get your old content out again, because some of our stuff is from 4 years ago when we had 25 followers. So our new people aren't seeing that all the time. So we kind of throw those things up as much as we can. And this was one of the things I really wanted to talk about. I use Blogger for busy moms. And when you want to store your content, and this Italian baked eggs was a recipe shared in one of our clean eating groups recently. And so she typed out the whole recipe and everything. I thought, well, I'm taking this. So I copied and pasted it. I titled my post Italian baked eggs, and I just pasted that in. Now I'm going to make that probably 2 or 3 times before I even post it. But all I need, I already have the idea. I have the recipe. I'll take an ingredient picture. I'll get a picture at the end. I'll write a little blurb about it. And I add a little bit more to it. But that's where we store. And then we have this cache of probably, we have almost 200 drafts there that we have not published, and 228 that are published. So when it comes up to be, like, it's going to be St. Patrick's Day soon. So I've got a corned beef in there that I made last year that I didn't post. And so we start thinking, okay, let's go back to that. Let's make that again. Let's see if there's anything that needs to be changed. And then the important thing when you are doing that is not to hit the publish button. You know, you want to wait until you're ready. So that's where I store all my stuff. Yeah, and you can see that's the example, like, and you can tell, like, I copied and pasted it right from Facebook. So I will edit it to be in our format, but it's just right there. I'll add my labels. I add my title already. And then I can put my pictures in and different things and format it a little bit differently. But it's really easy to store, and then you don't have to go running around looking for it. I know all my recipes are in Busy Mom, so I don't worry about it. And this was one of the things that when I was sharing this with Terry, she thought, oh, I didn't know to do that. We sat one day, I was in Target, and I get this telephone call from Joyce, and she says, what's going on with our numbers? and our likes were just increasing so drastically. And what we did was we had made a recipe that we found in a craft catalog, craft magazine that they used to send for free. And we thought, well, we're going to put it on Craft's page. And then they decided they want people to think they're a community. They want people to go to their Facebook page to find recipes and to share. So they decided our meal was the meal of the day. And they reposted it so everyone could see it. So throwing your recipes or your ideas on Almond Breeze or on Aldi's like page or Nike, any of those things would be great ways to get your stuff noticed. The way Facebook changed, now you show up like on the side of the screen and it'll say post to page, but every once in a while you'll get somebody who sees that and thinks that's a good idea and thinks, hey, this person really is probably speaking to our clients, and so it's almost like retweeting, we're gonna repost this and use that picture. So that's a really great thing to try to do. And I always think, what is it about me that makes people like me and want to be around me? So I was worked on finding my niche. And I could tell you about books. Terry always I'm your book person. I tell you what to read. I could tell any of my friends, they know, if they need a book for their kid and their kid's a certain age, I'm going to tell them what book. I'm good at teaching, and I have my running, and I have John, who is definitely a big help with the running. So I hashtag that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily hashtag Fit Family. I do have it in there, but more, runs for fun, teacher problems. So I try to come up with things. Teachers follow teachers. Those are really great hashtags to use that show your niche. And those are the things that those websites that I shared at the beginning, those blogs, those women have really done extremely well for themselves. And they are always true to themselves and not, trying to be something else. This was another way of working your niche and figuring out where you are. So we were featured, this was before Beachbody, but that's me and Joyce, and we were featured by another mother runner. They do a weekly feature, Follow These Mothers, and they link to our recipes, and they interviewed us. They wanted us to talk about best recipes for kids and how we get kids to eat more, and we got a lot of following from that. And so there are different people who like to do that, featuring others. And Kathleen, I know you're featuring some people, some coaches in your own blog, and so that's a really great way to kind of push some of the work off of yourself by doing these guest posts and knowing, okay, well, every week I'm going to introduce somebody, and we can follow these mothers on Facebook, we can follow these mothers on Twitter, and they gave all that information for anybody who wanted to share that way. And as you look here, you can kind of see some of the products that they that support them. And so here's Highlands. That might be another thing for us to try. There are all those natural remedies and stuff. That might be something that might be a good thing for us to try to promote. And then those guest bloggers, it's kind of, we've done that a couple times with our friends who have blogs. Joyce has done a couple different guest blogs. We had a home ec teacher do a guest blog for us. And recently we've been doing some of these book promotions. So we had a guest blogger who was a cook and a children's author. And so she wrote the entire blog. She gave us a recipe. She had pictures for it. And then her advertising agency pushed it. They pushed it in every form of social media that they have. And then we pushed it as well. So it's free advertising for them. And, they didn't even give any books or anything because the book was a pre-order. They were just trying to get some notice for this lady's book. So you can go that route too, trying to find people that you think you might want to have, a coach, a local person that you're friends with, or somebody who has a blog. And I was talking, I'm all about being efficient, and so I use lots of shortcuts. I talked about Clean Eating, and I do that with every single recipe that I see in Clean Eating. And I mentioned Sarah's non-food dates. So anytime I look at that Beachbody blog and I think that it's a good, worthwhile topic, I will type the topic in myself, put a link to the article, and then find a couple other articles that give some more information about that or my own take on it. That's it.
That was so great. Thank you. I took a lot of notes. I didn't realize all the stuff you could do with like the crossing. I've been really trying like to focus on getting my own thing and my own content,
Right.
and I didn't really think of all the other ways that you could get your blog out there. That's such a great idea.
Yeah. And we learned that by watching other people. So.
Yeah.
How many followers do you have on your blog, Kelly? Do you know?
We have about 70 people who are like Google followers who go on to Blogger and say they want to follow us that way. And then we have about 600 who get emails from us. And then we have 2,000 likes on Facebook, a little over 2,000. We have people who follow us on Twitter. So we have, about 4,000 to 5,000 people using the different social media. And then we have the people who just know our website and go to our website that we really can't track.
Yeah.
How do you track some of that? I guess that's the next level blogging stuff for me.
Now, if you're using Google, or using Blogger or
WordPress.
Okay, there's an analytics section in there, and so I would probably go under YouTube and I'd search for how to use analytics in WordPress.
Okay, gotcha.
Because it'll tell you how many people see that post, what their ages are, where they're coming from. Like you can see that on Pinterest and things too if you have a business account. So.
Okay.
I was going to ask you a question. You just said Pinterest. So I think you said something like you post it in Pinterest in different places. What does that mean?
So now I don't have, I changed my I have a Pinterest personal account, and then we have our Busy Moms account. And so maybe the first day I'll post in Pinterest on my Clean Eating. And then the next day I'll post on Pinterest Busy Moms dinner ideas. And then every once in a while people will invite you to post on a board. And I post on a board called Timeless Recipes. I don't know who runs that board. I know they have 16,000 followers. So anytime I have a recipe that I think is really good, I post on there. Somebody just offered me the opportunity to post on something like Go Fit Girl. And around, I had some seasonal ones. Somebody asked us to post on that. And so I will do that because it gets my stuff around to more people.
Okay, so you kind of you use the same sort of recipe or picture, you just kind of title it different, like Busy Mom's recipe?
Well, I won't change the words. Like and I don't know if you're doing this, but I go into Pinterest under goodies and I make my own pin it button. And so I'm taking the URL of my picture and the URL of my website, and then I'm making whatever words it's going to say. So it'll probably say whatever the title of the recipe is, like a couple words, quick, easy, done in less than 30 minutes. Occasionally I'll add a little bit more if I'm going to modify the recipe, like to make it clean and put it someplace else. I'll add notes about that, but most of the time.
Okay. Oh.
And Pinterest is probably the most effective. I mean, we have some things that have pinned like 40,000 times, and we don't have it. And that is our biggest reach, like because people see it so many times.
Yeah.
Really nice not having to schedule lessons.
Yeah, you're done.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to wrap my head around all of it because it's all good, and I do want to start from just the blog. I think that's starting point, and then you kind of spread yourself out from there. But I went to a Pinterest local thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Pintester. She's like, it's like a blog, but she tests all of the Pinterest things that go out there, like crafts, and she's really funny because all of them usually fail. And but she has like 30,000 followers on her Pinterest boards. But she said, yes, that's like the fastest growing social media outlet right now. Like it's surpassing Facebook. And maybe it's because Facebook's somewhat established and Pinterest is still kind of on its hike up. But she said it's supposed to, like, how the numbers are going, it's supposed to be way bigger than Facebook will ever be eventually. And I always doubt Facebook will be there forever. But what was I had a couple questions. Oh, the giveaways.
Mhm.
So you guys, I'm sure Kathleen and Terry, you guys do giveaways as well, but how feasible, like, do you guys ever contact anybody to get free stuff, like to give away free stuff?
We have tried contacting like a couple more mainstream authors, like, and that didn't work very well for us. But we tried, and we just kept trying. And so we've been really trying to get Vitamix to pay attention to us. And so we've been hashtagging a lot of Vitamix places because we feel like, hey, we're teachers. We don't make a lot of money, and we have Vitamix. You know, so we've been working on trying to do that. But mostly we have local people. We've dealt with a couple bread companies that wanted to look into us. So we kind of have a couple different letters that we'll send out to people. We kind of start the same way that you start with, you know, a friend that you have on Facebook that you want to see that you've been paying attention and commenting on them. So we go on Shop and Save or Giant Eagle, and we like things, or we comment places. So they start seeing us, and then maybe they'll look into us a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too. So you pay, let's say, you know, that lunchbox that you did, you actually purchased the lunchbox?
No, they sent it to us. Yeah, we didn't buy those.
Oh, okay. And is that something that happens often?
We probably, sometimes we get too many and we get really stressed out about trying to do a good job on them. So sometimes we say, no, we can't do it. But for a while we were doing it, and there are some different cookbooks. If you're familiar with Gooseberry Patch, you can sometimes see them in like the Hallmark stores and stuff. And they have you know, they have so many people who want to give away their books that they have, like, you enter to see if you can give their books away. And they picked like 30 people every so many months. And so we were on there for a year, and we shared their stuff for about a year.
Oh, okay. Huh. See, this is what I'm thinking. Like, I don't even know if I have any followers. Maybe 3, and they're all related to me. I'm just thinking, like to do this now, it would seem, you know what I mean? Like silly, like, oh, giveaway. Nobody sees it unless you get it out on all the social.
Yeah, and you do, and then we put it on Facebook, and then there are people who like look, you hashtag that giveaway, and they look for giveaway, and they search for giveaway, and sometimes they end up becoming customers or becoming users. Sometimes they don't, you know.
Right. Huh.
But you put it on Facebook, your Facebook people would see that, and they would do it, and then you would tweet about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get even more than like 200 likes on my Facebook page, you know, like, and so I guess a giveaway is like my next step. Besides, I mean, I also need to post or boost posts, and I'm still working on figuring all that out. But I don't know how to get over this hump of like, yes, I had like my loyal friends kind of like it, and now it's kind of like I don't know how to get out there.
Well, and I kind of think that's why, like, I've been putting a lot more effort and money into doing the blog and getting, you know, a logo design and doing those things, because I feel like that's what's going to best represent me. And I can sink money into Facebook, but it might not do anything for me. You know, and if I'm going to stay at 200, but I need to develop who I am, and so people can see that from the blog.
Right. True.
Now, here's another question. Sorry. So you're posting on all these different social media sites, like one a day, and in different ways, I know. every time you post, you post on Twitter, you post the recipe, you're posting like your blog site, then you go, I know how to do that so like on Instagram, put a picture of your recipe. Are you putting like, go to my profile or whatever?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
been a while. And then I still hashtag it. I'll hashtag on Facebook too, because people can search hashtags on Facebook. So if I use the same tags, they should be able to find it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I have someone who helps me. Like, we split it. So
Yeah, right.
she's doing half of that too.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's
Do you guys always use like the same hashtags for everything, kind of?
No, like we use mom approved, kid approved, BMRB, quick and easy. We use different things. Like, we were doing a meatless Monday, recently.
Because isn't hashtagging is really to kind of build a following, right? Like, it really serves no other purpose unless you're really searching for other things yourself. Okay. Because sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's just fun to be creative. And it doesn't even like help really get any followers. But I know, like, I've learned through other Beachbody people. I think it was whatever her name is, your upline, Kathleen. Alyssa, sorry. Like, I know it was kind of like that. She swore by it, and she'd post like 30 hashtags with every picture. And so maybe I just need to get into a regular routine of that. But does that really help with your followers?
I've noticed that when I do hashtag on Facebook, more people see the posts. But, I don't know if they follow it to the website,
Well, hashtagging doesn't work on Facebook, really, does it?
Oh, it does.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know, I haven't been hashtagging on Facebook. I just do it on Instagram. But
but then I always share my Instagram it always goes to my personal page. So, because I have more people following me on my personal page. Maybe I should start switching it to my business page.
Yeah, or both.
Yeah, or both.
I'm sorry, I gave you all like too much.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of notes.
I know, I screenshot the schedule. That was good. Your posting schedule.
Yeah, and that kind of takes pressure off of like figuring out, when to do all of that. Like,
do you blog once a week?
Yeah, when we first started, we were doing it twice a week because we were trying to build content. But we do it once a week, and for a while we were like, maybe we just need to go once a month because it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard and overwhelming. So
I know, Kathleen, you blogged about something this week that my dad actually sent me, and he really liked it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, it was, you had 5 or 10 tips of something for skin treating.
Yeah. My husband is helping me blog stuff.
Oh, nice.
He's making it so it's less complicated. Like, I keep thinking that I have to come up with this great new content, but like Kelly was saying, like, you don't.
no.
And I'm actually going to go through and take each one of the workouts and go in the back office, and they have those like that the tools to talk, like the talking points or whatever. And I'm literally like copying those and like just changing the wording a little bit, but like for each workout, I'm going to go back through and do it for all those things. And then they have all the pictures. I mean, they pretty much have everything.
They do.
And I'm like, why am I reinventing this stuff? I mean, would like to do something original, like maybe once a week, but the other times, I
thought about that too. I noticed that too. I would start to write about it, and I was kind of like, well, I need to know like what Beachbody's saying about it. So I'd go and I saw their talking points page. And I was like, oh my gosh. But I didn't know if like copying and pasting that, if that affects how people can find you. Like if they Google search something, are they going to be, because our wording is exactly theirs, are they always going to be spit out to Beachbody? I don't know. I might just be making that up in my head too. Does that make sense? Where like if we have the same exact content word for word, do people find you in like an SEO search thing?
I know that I'm using WordPress, and I was working with a web developer who was I have the opportunity, and I don't have this in Blogger, but to put a meta tag and to put an excerpt And so I've been kind of trying to do that. And so that would be something, and it says, when I click on like the question mark, it says that that's what's searched. So, or that's what comes up. So and it will rate me, like it'll give me like a yellow and says no good because I haven't used enough words, or it's too short, or I didn't use the words from the post title. So that's kind of depressing, but at least it's something that would be your own.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if this is true. I'm still very much in the beginning, but I think like the purpose for me, like, is that they'll never, like somebody searching T25, for example, is never going to get to my website just by searching that word. But I think if you did like some other thing, so I'm thinking if you copy that content for that page, you're never going to get somebody who Google searches T25 coming to your page. So for that, but if they're coming for some other reason and I have a black backlink, like I'm saying, like, I don't know, like my husband and I did this great workout T25 and I have the backlink to that. That's why I'm going to just mostly copy and paste for that, because I can't ever compete with.
No, I guess so. If you ever on your blog, you'll have like a descriptor of every workout, but you're just kind of copying and pasting from them. I thought about doing that because I was like, it's all right here.
Yeah. And I figure too, like my thought would be like, so I'm going to say like, who's the workout for, and what, who's it not for, or whatever, like that kind of thing. And I'm thinking also it could be really useful for when I'm talking to somebody, or when somebody's trying to think through.
Give them a link.
Like, I don't explain these anymore.
Right. I noticed that's what I want to get my blog to, is that's where I just store all my content information, and everything is just a link to people just saying, if they have a question, here, check out this post or check out this page. Because I know, Terry, you did that with the on-demand, and it was awesome. Like, I referred back to it a lot this week just to get like all my information, because I'd rather check yours than go to the back end where I get lost. But then I wanted to share with a friend, but I was afraid she's not a Beachbody customer yet, so I couldn't share your stuff with her, because then I was afraid she would just go through you.
Right.
Not that you couldn't. You'd be okay with the business.
Yeah. Well, what I was thinking too, the reason I did that, and then I did like a whole thing when the 21 Day Fix came out, and all I did was I looked at, in the back office, the 21 Day Fix Extreme, whatever descriptor, and then I looked at Melanie's blog and somebody else's blog just to kind of see kind of things that I just like made it my own, like put my own words in and whatever. I took pictures and then I put my watermark on all the pictures, but they were all from Beachbody, and pinned a couple of them, and then just so that people would come back to my site. I don't know if that's legal or not. And then anytime somebody asked me about the 21 Day Fix Extreme, I would just go to give them that blog address and they go read it. And then at the blog, it says, if you want to join a challenge group, click here, and it goes to my challenge group application, which I know is what, Kathleen, you've done as well. But anytime there's like something new, it took me forever to do that dang on demand thing, because I kept getting interrupted and going back to it. And then I found a picture, and then I was like pick monkeying a picture. But now that it's done, I'm just getting
it's so easy. Yeah, it is.
But I like that. And I found so when we got Insanity Max 30, there was inside the box, there was this little pamphlet of, it was all about, and you might have seen this, Sarah, because I know you have. It was all about like fast food restaurants and the healthy foods to eat.
Yeah.
And Dan saw it and he was like, oh wow, like I can't believe they have this in here. But it was like, if you don't, like, we don't promote fast food eating, but if you don't have time or you're on the road and you have to stop at one of these places, here's what you can eat. So today I started this is probably gonna take me another week, but I just started like copying stuff from there, and I've made a picture, and so I'm gonna make it a blog post, because I feel like there's so many people that have asked me, like, if I have to eat out, where can I go? Or if I go to Chipotle, like, what's good there? So I'm just going to be like, okay, go here now.
Yeah, that's a good.
I'm just trying to think of what people have asked to try to make something where I can just, because I still use my Aldi list you know,
Mhm.
that I've made like in August.
Right. Once you make a post, they can be recycled. Like I do agree. I even have a couple good Facebook posts from a long time ago that I'm like, I need to recycle those Facebook posts
Yeah.
again. You know.
Go back
Just,
to, and the easiest thing is to go to your Facebook post pictures because you probably
mhm,
posted a picture with it, and
mhm,
then just copy it and copy the picture and then put it in your blog.
mhm.
But yeah, that is. I know. I wish we could just like spend hours like
You
on our.
get a whole lot done having kids in your house all day long. Like I can't even keep up.
You do.
I do. I do. Well, they're occupied for a while, and then I run, or I have my phone. Like the phone is like what saves me. So
Um, yeah, it's so great. And I feel like this is a discussion we could keep having, especially about blogging, because I feel like I truly believe that that's where Melanie gets most of her business. And I mean, I think you've all seen it. Her blog isn't, I mean, I think even she would admit it's not really that pretty. It's not really that well done, but whatever she's doing, because I mean, you probably have noticed too, like 21 Day Fix, she's the first top of the whatever, and you got to figure she knows something, because it's not the content. Well, sometimes I've
Right.
gone through when she posts about that like that, and you can tell she's just pretty much cut and paste, just like we're talking about
yeah, that's what
back office stuff. So anyway, I mean, I
Does
just
she
feel
get?
like
I'm sorry. Does she have a lot of ads on her
yes,
blogs? Okay, because that's
like
where she's making
Beachbody.
a lot of money too now.
Oh no, I mean,
Oh,
no, I don't think she has other, but she has a lot of Beachbody,
ad.
whatever, you know what I mean?
Oh, that she puts on there from the back end. Yeah, I need to
Yes,
figure that out too.
yes.
But I guess like I mean we've listened to this guy. It's called Smart Passive Income. Something about making passive income, which is what Beachbody kind of is at some level. But this guy does it all based online, like websites and blogs and YouTube channels and stuff, but all kind of like self-made entrepreneur people. But you make most of your money in your ads on your blog, and that's kind of why you want a lot of followers, is because then Google comes at you and they're kind of like, hey, we'll pay you this much just to be advertised on your blog. So I know not that we're ever like, not that that's the goal necessarily, but I know that you can make a good amount of money on a good blog. So I didn't know if she's kind of tapping into that as well. She may not have to.
I don't think
But-
she has to yet at this
No.
point. She
No.
had like over 100 SC points in January. So I mean,
Oh my word.
yeah, she's got it. She's got something figured out. But I do know another friend of mine who is a blogger told me that you can be an affiliate with Amazon and iTunes. Do you know? So you can actually
I
go
didn't
in.
know iTunes.
Yeah, and I guess you can go into Amazon. I forget what the website is, but I can find it if you want. And like, let's say you any product that you're kind of endorsing, you can have a direct link to Amazon, and if anybody purchases through that link, then it's a small percentage, but it's still so
Right.
so some of the books that I like, I'm gonna have the backlink to those. But you could do any products even. I don't know if you know that one, Kelly, but you could do like if you like the whatever food processor or something, you could put that link back in, or the whatever those noodle thing. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Huh. I didn't know that.
Yep.
So you have to go to Amazon. You have to go.
I forget what there's like a Amazon. Wait, let me see if I can find
Mike
it.
has it. Mike did it with something with his books too. And so anytime he refers to a book, if somebody buys, you make like pennies at the time. But if you get a lot of people who follow and then buy through that, you can make just residual income again
Right,
from
right.
old posts too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the website. I'll find it though.
Yeah. Huh.
Thank you.
I won't be promoting all the books that I'm reading. I know that.
20 year.
Like, I like the first page of this book.
When I complete Eat That Frog, that's gonna be on my website.
You're ahead of me on that one though.
Oh, I am.
Well, we lost my iPad. We cannot find it anywhere. So I don't I now have to read it on my phone, which I just hate reading it on my phone. But I found, and I have it on Sam's little Kindle, so I have to use his Kindle. But yeah, I just don't have access to it anymore. But Did you like it?
All right. Well, thanks for getting on. Thanks for sharing all that, Kelly. I really
problem.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. That was good.
I will email